Bunny the dog is a super very popular account here on TikTok. She presses buttons on a soundboard that correspond with words and seemingly puts them together to make broken sentences. And her owner, Alexis Divine, interprets them into communicative meaning. But does Bunny the dog really know how to communicate? Can she talk? For real though, what about Bunny? Well, my first instinct is no, and that it's mostly the Clever Hans effect. And for real quick, Clever Hans was a horse in the early 1900s that was said to be able to tell time, read German, answer math problems, and a bunch of other things. And he would give answers by tapping his hoof an appropriate number of times. But it turns out Hans was just responding to his owner, Von Austin's facial expressions and body language. In tests, Hans only got the answers right when Von Austin knew the correct answers. So instead of actual understanding, Bunny could just be pressing buttons that get reactions from Divine. Another thing is that Divine could be consciously or unconsciously cherry-picking moments to publish, or ignoring things that can't be construed as positive evidence. She could have a conscious or unconscious bias to interpret gibberish and give it positive meaning. Now, Bunny is actually part of a bigger research project from the University of California, San Diego, called the Dog Cognition Project, or They Can Talk. And for their part, on the They Can Talk website research page, the first thing they mention is the Clever Hans effect and how they're trying to avoid it. The study started in 2020 with the data collection phase. Phase 2 is a video collection and analysis phase. And Phase 3 is an interactive studies phase, focusing on exceptional subjects, presumably like Bunny. I'm uncertain what phase they're on though, because their website says that Phase 2 is currently being deployed. And Phase 3 was set to start back in May this year, but they had a quarterly Phase 1 participation call 3 months ago. I think it's cool that it's been turned into a scientific endeavor finding out if dogs can communicate with buttons, but I do see some red flags there. First, I think it's weird that they named the study after a positive finding, calling it They Can Talk. Like if it was truly unbiased science, shouldn't it be called Can They Talk? Next, it's good that it's being done in partnership with UC San Diego, and one of the lead researchers, Federico Rosano, seems pretty level-headed about it. In a Vice article, he said, "Right now, if you ask me, does Bunny talk? The answer is, I don't know." And it's absolutely true that we need to be super careful. It's why we haven't put out a paper yet. So that's good, but another red flag for me is that the study is being put on in partnership with the company that makes the soundboards, called Fluent Pet. And one of the lead researchers, Leo Trottier, developed the boards in the first place. That seems to me to be a potential conflict of interest, a point that Leo cedes on the They Can Talk boards. So overall, I'm glad that it's turned into a scientific project, and I hope that they would publish a null finding if they get one, but I wouldn't be surprised if we never actually get a paper out of it. And if they do publish a paper with positive findings that says that dogs can indeed use button boards to communicate to a degree greater than previously thought possible, I'll be willing to believe it with the backing of the animal cognition field in general.